We will now cover the annotation of the purchase order number in an invoice. The Annotate Invoice button is in the New Invoice window. This can be used to enter the purchase order number if required for a service. This will be sent as an invoice comment to ACC. Please ensure that the number is entered as a purchase order number. We will now cover the function of the special characters in the GST number field of the staff setup. To do this, go to File, Options, Staff, find the staff member, and under the Income tab, you will see their GST number. This GST number from the income provider's staff setup will be sent with the ACC invoice. ACC will only allow 8 or 9 digits, and all special characters such as dashes will be removed automatically before being submitted to ACC. We will now cover claims that are grouped by ACC vendor ID and contract number. To do this, go to your Claims ribbon menu. An ACC invoice claim file will be generated for each unique ACC vendor ID and contract number combination. When the claim is grouped together after claim finalization, each ACC service will be grouped together based on the ACC vendor ID associated with the income provider and contract number associated with the service. The rules to group claims under a combination of ACC vendor ID and contract numbers for each ACC service claim are based on the following parameters. During claims finalization for ACC services, ACC vendor ID is determined based on the income provider's ACC vendor ID available under staff setup. If unavailable, the ACC vendor ID in location setup is used. Similarly, if the ACC service has an associated non-regulatory contract number, this will be utilised. If this is not available, the regulatory contract number will be associated for the service based on the income provider invoicing for the service. We will now cover determining the income and service provider for the claim file. To do this, open your account holder account screen. The account holder account screen displays the list of invoice claims. Double-clicking on each claim will open the View Claims screen, as shown here, where you will see each individual invoice line item under each claim are displayed. The income and service providers displayed in the View Claim screen for each invoice line items can be identified from the invoice. However, determining the service and income providers to display for each claim file under the account holder account screen is not easy. If the service and income providers cannot be determined at the claim file level, then there will be problems during claims reconciliation, and the income and payment reports will display the provider as #SYS. To avoid this, a new ACC e-schedule claims format section has been introduced in the location setup. To access this, go to File, Options, Location Settings. And this will be found under the Codes and Defaults tab. The ACC e-schedule section allows the selection of either practice grouping or provider grouping for ACC invoices that will then determine the identification of income and service providers for the claim file and the type of grouping required for those claim files. If you choose provider grouping, the selection of the income provider to be displayed for the main ACC invoice claim file will be from the income provider available in the invoice. The service provider will be obtained from the default service provider configured for the location. The invoices will be grouped under the ACC vendor ID and contract number combination of the invoice income provider. All invoices for one income provider will be grouped together as per the provider. Practice grouping is only applicable to existing ACC e-schedule enabled practices. With this option, the selection of the income provider to be displayed for the main ACC invoice claim file will be from the default income provider available in the location setup. The service provider will be obtained from the default service provider available in the location setup, and the ACC vendor ID will be in the location setup as well. For income providers with the same ACC provider type or contract, their invoices will be grouped under the same ACC vendor ID and contract number combination. Please remember, if your practice has not been enabled for ACC eSchedule, then please ensure the provider-based grouping is selected in the location setup to group your ACC invoices correctly for your practice. We will now cover the account holder account screen changes. Claims will now be grouped based on the ACC vendor ID of the income provider. ACC invoice details for each income provider can be viewed by searching for the specific ACC vendor ID account holder and then opening the account holder account screen. After finalizing claims and viewing the account holder account screen, the description field on the account holder account screen will display the vendor ID and contract number where applicable. For ACC eSchedule enabled practices, there will potentially be claims from multiple providers under each claim file. We will now cover the View Claim screen changes. If the invoice claim is for ACC services, then in the View Claim screen under the Claim Header section, the service provider and income provider fields will be hidden, and in their place the ACC vendor ID and contract number will be displayed. These will be uneditable and display only. The service and income provider details will instead be shown under the Claim Details grid as new columns. To filter the claims, service provider and income provider drop-downs have been added. To identify each claim within the claim file, a schedule line number column titled SCH number representing each claim has been added in the Claim Details grid. There are no changes to the unfinalized claim item, transfer to patient and transfer to account holder functions. We will now cover the ACC invoice claims. Under the Claims ribbon menu, you will see now there is a new icon called Electronic eSchedule Claims ACC 47E. This is the transfer of ACC claim files to ACC, and it's performed manually from this module. Progress is displayed in the Unload screen and will clearly state if the invoice has been accepted or rejected. Finally, we will cover the display status of an invoice claim submitted. So to do this, we go to the Patient ribbon menu and under the Accidents menu, select the Claims Status screen. For each claim file processed by the ACC eGateway, a response message is received, indicating success or rejection, and is available in this screen here. If you click on the Auto Preview Error Details, you will get further information in the bottom half of the screen explaining what the error is. You need to click this icon again if you wish to hide this section. The Remember Screen Position functionality has been enabled for this screen. The claims in this screen will be displayed chronologically by the Date Sent column, with the latest claim on top and the oldest at the bottom.